You're sitting in class. The teacher is explaining something important. You nod, you take notes, you look like you're paying attention. But inside your head, you're building an entire universe. You're 3 tangents deep into a thought about how elevators could be redesigned, or why certain songs make you feel specific colors, or how language would work if humans never developed written words. Then someone asks you a question, and you freeze, because you have no idea what they just said. They call it not paying attention. They tell you to focus. They say your mind is wandering when it should be working. But here's what they don't tell you. Your brain isn't broken. It's not lazy. It's not even distracted. It's running a different operating system entirely, one that processes information through exploration, not absorption. And when you finally understand how that system works, you don't just catch up to everyone else, you leave them behind. Today, I'm going to show you the psychology behind why your wandering brain is actually your greatest learning advantage. There's a concept in neuroscience called divergent thinking, the ability to generate multiple unique solutions to a single problem. And recent research from 2025 confirms something fascinating. People with ADHD traits don't just do this occasionally, they do it constantly, automatically, without even trying. Here's what's actually happening. Most brains operate with what scientists call focused attention networks. They activate the prefrontal cortex, narrow down options, filter out distractions, and follow a linear path from A to B. It's efficient, it's reliable, it's how you follow instructions and complete standardized tasks. But the ADHD brain, it operates differently. The default mode network, the part of your brain that activates during rest and internal thought, doesn't deactivate during tasks like it does in neurotypical brains. It stays on. It keeps running in the background, connecting ideas, pulling in information from unrelated domains, exploring possibilities that have nothing to do with the task in front of you. Most people call this distraction. Neuroscientists call it something else: constraint-free processing. Think of it like this. Imagine 2 people trying to invent a new type of transportation. The first person studies existing vehicles, analyzes current technology, and incrementally improves what already exists. They're focused, methodical, and efficient. The second person starts thinking about how birds fly, how water flows, how magnets repel each other, how sound waves travel through different materials, and suddenly they're inventing something that doesn't resemble any vehicle that came before it. The first brain is convergent. It narrows down to the best existing solution. The second brain is divergent. It expands outward to solutions that don't exist yet. Most people believe ADHD brains struggle to learn because they can't focus. That's the wrong framework. ADHD brains struggle with traditional learning because traditional learning was designed for convergent processors. Give a divergent processor the right environment, and they don't just learn faster, they learn in ways that create entirely new knowledge. Not everyone with ADHD learns creatively for the same reason. Research identifies 3 distinct cognitive profiles, and each one unlocks a different type of learning superpower. Type 1, the pattern hunter. This is someone whose brain constantly searches for connections between seemingly unrelated things. They can't read a single topic without their mind pulling in examples from 5 other domains. They're the person who learns about ancient Rome and immediately starts comparing it to modern corporate structures, or studies photosynthesis and connects it to how social media algorithms work. What drives them? A brain that refuses to process information in isolation. Their default mode network is hyperactive, constantly scanning memory for patterns and parallels. From the outside, it looks scattered, jumping between topics, starting sentences and abandoning them mid-thought, bringing up random examples that seem off-topic. But the truth? They're building what neuroscientists call conceptual expansion. They're not just learning individual facts, they're constructing a massive web of interconnected knowledge that lets them solve problems in completely original ways. While others memorize formulas, they understand the underlying patterns that generate formulas. Type 2, the constraint breaker. This person has incredibly high originality scores on divergent thinking tests, but their ideas often seem impractical or too creative. They're the one who, when asked to think of uses for a brick, comes up with solutions that don't resemble anything a brick has ever been used for. They don't just think outside the box, they don't see the box at all. What happened to them? Their brain has weaker knowledge constraints. Most people, when given a creative task, unconsciously limit their ideas based on how things have been done before. Show them a few examples, and those examples become invisible boundaries. The ADHD brain has less of this constraint effect. They're not ignoring previous knowledge, they're just not imprisoned by it. From the outside, they seem to have wild, unusable ideas. But the truth? They're the ones who create genuine breakthroughs. Because innovation doesn't come from optimizing what exists, it comes from imagining what doesn't. Type 3, the deliberate mind wanderer. This is someone who's learned to channel their mind wandering intentionally. They've discovered that their best ideas don't come when they're trying to focus. They come when they're in the shower, walking, doing something repetitive and low stakes. They've stopped fighting their brain's natural rhythm and started working with it. What drives them? An understanding that there are two types of mind wandering: spontaneous, uncontrollable, happens at bad times and interferes with tasks, and deliberate, intentional, creative, productive. Most people with ADHD only experience spontaneous mind wandering, but this person has learned to trigger deliberate mind wandering, setting aside time to let their brain explore freely, then harvesting the creative insights afterward. From the outside, it looks like procrastination, like they're not working. But the truth? They're doing the cognitive work that produces original solutions, just at a different stage of the process than traditional learners. So what does all this tell us? Your brain doesn't have a deficit disorder. It has a difference optimization. While other brains are built for efficiency, completing tasks the way they've always been completed, following established paths, absorbing information as presented, your brain is built for exploration, for discovering connections no one else sees, for generating solutions that don't exist yet. Here's the hard truth that no one wants to tell you. Traditional education isn't designed to measure your type of intelligence. It measures your ability to suppress your natural cognitive style and mimic a different one. Every time you're told to just focus, you're being asked to turn off the very system that makes you capable of extraordinary thinking. But here's the positive opposite: what your brain is really choosing. When you stop fighting the divergent processing and start designing environments that fuel it, you don't just keep up with traditional learners, you access cognitive abilities they can't reach. Because while they're optimizing existing solutions, you're creating new ones. While they're following the map, you're discovering new territory. Think about this. Is there a subject or project right now that everyone says you should approach the normal way, but your brain keeps pulling you toward a different angle, a creative method, a non-standard path? What if that pull isn't distraction? What if that's your constraint-free processor telling you there's a better route that no one else can see yet? You already know what you need to do. You've known it every time someone told you to just focus, and your brain screamed that focusing isn't the problem, the method is the problem. Consider this your permission to stop forcing yourself into the wrong learning system and start building one that actually runs on your brain's fuel. If this video helped you see your ADHD brain as a different processor, not a broken one, I want you to do one thing. Comment below with the most random connection your brain has ever made. The weirder, the better. The thing that made no sense to anyone else but created a breakthrough for you. because every one of those random connections is evidence of your constraint-free processor doing exactly what it was designed to do. And if you're ready to go deeper, to understand how to build learning systems that actually work with divergent processing instead of against it, the next video breaks down the exact framework. It's already waiting for you. I'll see you there.